Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bring you all my Gate Ruler starter deck opening. I've got two Gate Ruler starter decks to open for you all today. These are the new card game from the creator of Future Card Buddy Fight. And starting off the game, we've got the Giant Mechs and Yokai in space and Summon the Fell Dragon. Two different decks that focus on two different playstyle, with the Fell Dragon deck being more for veteran card game players, focusing more on a hand and resources to work with, while the Yokai in space, you don't need any cards in hand to play with, and very, very simple for people looking to start the game. So with two different starter decks to go off of, I figured we'd open up both and just see what each one comes with. They look very, very awesome. I'm curious to see just how many cards. They list all the different ones on the back of the packaging, but I think a good amount of them are needed just to help create different decks for the game as well. So we have the tape on the top of both of them, so we'll go ahead and crack them open and see what they come with. We'll go with the Yokais in space first. So let's see. I think these are both ones you can start off with. I'm hoping I do see what looks maybe like a playmat, just so you can see kind of the play style and how the game works as well. So yep, here we have, this looks more like the rule book, so that'll definitely be useful to look at later, showing all the different gate rulers we have to start off with: Apprentice, Highlander, and Knight, and more will be coming out in future sets as well. We have, looks like these come with the starter decks here, the World Master B, and then the World Master A, focusing on just, I would say, more of a generic kind of basis for the game as well, with these ones being more of the actual gameplay ones there. Sweet. And then up there it is. This is the playmat. So let me go ahead and open that up. Looks pretty straightforward with the set zones, the spot for the gate ruler, the defensive zones, the attack zones, the field zone, deck slot, graveyard, and then also the damage zone. Awesome. And then more on the setup. If you were to flip it over, there's basically a matte version that tells you a little more detail with the phase of the turns, and also just a little more explanation on what each unit can do in each position. So very, very nice. Let's go ahead and open up the star deck. As I spoke of before, we'll move the Fell Dragon one out of the way for now. Still the awesome backed texture. We can also zoom in just a bit there so we can see a little more detail of all of the different cards. So yep, we got each one. Looks like, is there a spot where I can grab onto the plastic? I think they normally have with these cards. If not, it looks like I might have to be a little careful, and I'll try to get the side of the card there. It looks like there's a little piece there that you can rip off for it. That might be the difficulty there, but yep, I think if I can just be careful there and cut it open. Yep, oh look, there it is. So it looks like they have that little plastic piece there, and then you just gotta open it like that. And good thing I have the knife. I didn't want to have to damage any of the cards, so that's very lucky there. All right, so we start off, actually, now that I say that, I think we want to start off with the monster one there. Yep, got a better grip on that one at least to start me off with ripping them open. All right. Took a little longer than expected there, but awesome. So starting off, and I have seen some of these from the actual box that I opened. We have Yubuko, the Midnight Watch. Yeah, I pulled this one already. It doesn't look like it has the star rating, but you get a couple copies. We have the A1 Apprentice for this one as well. Interesting. I'll have to compare it to the other card, but still, same backing and everything. Sky Trooper, Type 0, Sorai for our first unit. I think we get 3 copies of this card. We have Exo Armor Trooper, Masurao 01, and I think we get 4 copies of that. Nice. Exo Armor Trooper, Sakimori for our next card. And we got 2 from this one. Joe the Kamatachi for the... Yeah, those all just looks like they're vanilla generic monsters. It looks like Exo Armor Trooper has double attack, but other than that, until the end of the turn, this unit gets double attack. So very explanatory. And like I said, some of the cards are shared from Buddy Fight. I would say just with card effects. Hard Suit Assault Team Jinrai again, or unless I already said that. Combat Engineer Unit Inagi, and you can see in the top also a good amount of these all share the military, attribute or type. So we've got the unit Inagi, more of the Yubuko Midnight Watch here. We have the one foil one in the front. Here's another one there. And we have Split Second Counter-Strike. Looks like we got 3. This is an event card, so 3 of those. And it looks like we have 2 Desperate Resistance here, and the rest of them will be continuing off in the second pile. So Desperate Resistance. So we have 1. Oh, looks like we just got 1 there. And another big thing about Gate Ruler is that you have dual colors in the deck. So this one looks to be red and pink, with this one being Magical Universe. We have Galactic Swordmaster Goldizer. This is just a big card with a lot of HP, costing 3 to call out. But with the Squire deck, you don't have any cost. You just play what you have in your hand, so a better way to go about it with these high cost cards. Space Ninja Silverfang. And it looks like we have Headhunter Syndicate Recruiter, 4 copies of that. Milky Way Patrol, 2. Space Dullahan, I think 2 or 3 copies of that. Yep. And for some of the more event cards, we have Emergency Fusion Now, 2 copies of that, 2 copies or 3 of 4 copies of Blaster Cannon. And we have 4 Jaunting. This is another like avoidance card, so a way to dodge attacks against your opponent. Sweet. So yeah, looks like the big theme, aliens in space, yokai, giant mechs. So the 2 different decks working together, military, as well as you can see is shared in the top corner with a good number of cards. So that's going to be a big part of building decks in the game also. Just being able to have these same type of cards, I think, would work better together. And the last one is the Fell Dragon cards. Looks like the bottom was actually already ripped open, but I'll go from the top still so I don't damage the box at all. So let's go ahead, open this up and see. And don't forget we have that difficult packaging to go with in this one, but we have the playmat from this also. This is the rule book one here, so same there. And for this one, it looks like the color is the same. That would be cool if it was maybe blue or something, but same, I'm guessing, for both of those. And we've got the 2 decks, so we'll open these up and see what we're dealing with. So it looks like blue and yellow, so Atlas and Legend for this one. If I can grab that plastic piece there, hopefully, so I don't have to damage any of the cards. I see it there. Alrighty, awesome. Now that one came off a lot easier than the first deck there. We'll go ahead and open both of them. Yeah, that was definitely a lot easier, but very nice. So I think 40 cards total. It might differ depending on the Gate Ruler you use, but other than that, spend enough time wasting opening up the plastic there, as I have plastic everywhere also. All right, starting off with this set, we have the Legend cards. We have Vestoris Rex, Fell Dragon, Quad Arc of Ruin. Sweet. Powerful card that it can basically end your opponent's turn. It has counter, so if you reveal it for a damage check, you can resolve this card counter if you have 2 life or less to end the turn. Sweet. And our Gate Ruler is the 11K Knight. So different play style. Like I said, this one revolves more around hand usage than the Squire, which just goes off the cards you reveal for that turn. So we got 1 more copy of Vestoris Rex. And how many do we have of Fell Dragon Priest? 4 copies there. And we have Deathbringer, the 2-headed Blight. 3 copies. And then 3 copies of Fell Dragon Fanatic. And 3 copies of Dark Knight Geist. Dark Receiver we have 2 copies of. For the events, we have March of Darkness, 3 copies. And this is more like a shield card here. Absolute Zero Field. Looks like we got 3 copies. You can set this card. If set, play it when you're directly attacked, you take 0 damage. So yeah, it basically reduces the damage you would take from an attack. That's how I remember that. And moving on now to the monsters, we have 4 copies for the Atlas cards of Nox Jin. And 3 copies of Nosferatu Soldier. 4 copies of Johann Enthralled Prodigy. Do they all share the mage aspect? These ones say darkness in the top for these, but a good part of the blue say darkness as well and mage, so different varying cards there. Darkness for Midas G. Goldberg. I remember getting this card also from the booster set. Jack the Ripper as well. We got 4 copies. And Nibelung for 3 copies of this one. And for the event cards, we have 3 copies of Steel Storm and 1 copy of Win-Win. Interesting. Oh, this is why. This has the legend symbols. You can only run 1 copy of this card in the deck. So that explains why there's only 1. Draw 1 card, choose 2 of your resources, and your opponent also chooses 1 of their resources, and ready the chosen resource. Interesting. Almost like they're going for battle with this card. A lot of flavor text on the side there also. And we've got 2, Making a Killing. And for this deck, since it is a deck that relies on energy resources, you have these cards that you start off with, always at the ready, and then you basically turn them over when you want to use them for either calling out a unit, depending on the cost of the card, so using all your energy resource to call that card out, and then using the knight for the specified resource. It says choose 2 of your resources and ready them, so basically like that. So you gotta be wary basically of how you start up your resources on the field as well, because you only have so much to work with within a turn also. But that is it for the opening. I hope you all enjoy. Like I said, I definitely can't wait to learn the rules a little bit more for this game, and then maybe get to actually playing some games on the channel as well with both of the decks, and then maybe a couple more that I make from the booster box. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.